Hey, it's Maren with Heart and Soul Dance, and this is our 12 Days of Christmas, our giveaway to you as a thank you. And I really mean it. Thank you guys so much. So anyway, I have got one of my absolute favorite spins and turns exercise to share with you today. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you are standing up straight, thinking about everything being stacked. If you haven't worked with me before on this, what we want to think about is that our bones, our structure, that's what is holding us up, right? So we want to use as little muscle as possible and stack our bones so that our head is on top of our shoulders, is on top of our ribs, is on top of our hips, our legs, and our feet. So you're nice and tall and very relaxed. That's first thing of any spin or turn. And we're going to work specifically on spins today. So it won't feel like it though. All right, so you're going to put all of your weight over one foot. Let's do our right foot. Put all your weight over your right foot and then bend and straighten. So there's a slight flex in my right knee. It's not fully bent, but it's not locked straight. So there's some slight flex. And then my left leg is going to bend and straighten. And what you'll notice if you look from the side is that my left hip, I'll show you from this side, my left hip, what ends up happening is my left hip goes forward and backwards. It's creating rotation in my core, in my center. I'm going to keep my nice stack, but I'm letting my hip, just my left hip, rotate. I want to think about my right side as the hinge part of a swinging door. My left side is going to swing around it, and I'm going to generate the momentum through my hips, not through my shoulders and not through my feet. So the way that I do this is I want to take that hip back. I can take my left foot back slightly and pull my hip back and bend my knee. So mostly I'm thinking about straightening that knee and bending it to just get that hip back and forth. You want to start to feel like your hip is what's doing the work. From here, I want to make sure that my weight is over the ball of my right foot. If it's over my heel, your heel is like a brake. Think of it like that, right? It's going to stop you from moving. So my weight is over the ball of my right foot. I'm letting my left hip move back and forth, and then I'm going to release my left hip. What does that mean? I'm just going to let it go. Notice that I didn't throw my shoulders, I didn't do anything. I'm not worried about how far around I get. So I'm gonna do little quarter turns or even less. I just wanna get the habit. I wanna build a habit of letting, I want my body to understand what is doing the turn. So I'm building a habit around my hip is what's creating the turn. It's what's generating my turn, right? So you notice what I do is I do once, twice, release. Once, twice, release. Let's try the other leg. So my weight is now on my left foot. I'm stacked, right? So don't start watching your feet. You know where your feet are. So I'm stacked. If you want, you can put a mirror in front of you so you can watch that. But don't look down at your feet because you lose your stack. At this point, my weight is over the ball of my left foot. My left knee is slightly flexed. It's not straight. It's not locked. It's also not totally bent. My right leg is going to bend and straighten. My toe is going to be slightly back. And it's just going to get my hip. My right hip this time is what's moving around, right? So again, this time I'm thinking about my left side is the hinge side of a swinging door, and I'm going to let my whole right side rotate around it. I'm not going to generate the momentum from my shoulder or from my foot because it will throw me off balance. I want to do it through the middle of my body or through my hip. So I'm going to bend and straighten my leg to let my right hip come around the corner. And then once I'm comfortable doing that a few times, I want to do my 1, 2, release. And make sure you're over the ball of that left foot, because remember your heel is a brake. So I've got my 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. Little quarter turns. We're building body memory. We're not trying to do the Olympic turns here. We're not doing a triple axel, just building body memory. Now, where does this fit in? Every time somebody goes to prep me, the reason that there is a prep in dancing is to give you the heads up that there's a turn coming. What that allows me to do as a follower, and I'll use, say for example, a spinning side pass in West Coast Swing, is right here. If I walk forward 1, 2, I was prepped by my leader, so I know to leave my right hip behind. And right there, I don't get the 1, 2 when I'm dancing, but I'm in that position. My body has now remembered what I've taught it when I was practicing on my own. I can release that hip and generate the beginning of my turn, okay? So that's a practical application. As you get comfortable doing little quarter turns, you can increase it to half turns. But please don't do it until after you're already comfortable. What ends up happening, regardless of the intent, I see it every time somebody gets ahead of themselves, is I'm doing my quarter turns and then I think, yeah, but when I dance, I have to do more than a quarter turn. I need to be able to do a full turn, right? And then somebody goes, okay. And they throw their shoulders and they go back to their bad body memory. This is about building a skill set. So each time you do it, make sure that you're using the part of your body that you want to use. I'm using my hips, right? I've got my quarter turn. Cool, I'm comfortable using my hips. I'm not gonna throw my shoulders, I'm gonna use my hips, and I've got my half turn. Okay, let me do this again, and oops, wait, I threw my shoulders. Let me go back. Go back and do it again. Build the body memory around using your hips, because when you're dancing and somebody is leading you, you won't have time to think about it, and your body will go back to what you knew unless you've retrained it, okay? Take your time. You're not in a rush. We're stuck at home. So that's my favorite exercise for spins and turns, and I have a whole bunch more of those in my back pocket. I am so looking forward to seeing you all back here in the studio. And until then, here's the deal. With an exercise like this, the best way to do it is to do 2 minutes on one side and 2 minutes on the other side, like twice a day. That's 8 minutes out of your day. If you do that while you're at home, you will notice a huge difference when you get back out on the dance floor. I promise you that. So, until I see you back in the studio again, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful holiday and enjoy the rest of the 12 days of Christmas.